Hey there, I'm Dave Karger here at the People EW Video Studio at the Toronto International Film Festival, here with the brain trust from Bros. Director Nick Stoller, also Billy Eichner and Luke McFarlane, two stars of the film, as well as you guys, the two writers of the film. Many hats. Welcome and congratulations on being here in Toronto. Billy, I can only imagine when you dreamed up this project, was a film festival like this part of the dream?
First, I have to give credit where credit is due. Nick Stoller brought the idea for the movie to me, even though he's straight. But, you know, for the historical record, that is what happened.
We'll allow it.
You know,
I apologize.
Yeah. A straight man also started the Stonewall Riot, but we don't talk about that. No, I could not have imagined that. I mean, just getting to make an R-rated gay rom-com at a major studio, you know, to have the same studio that makes Jurassic World and Fast and the Furious and Minions make a hardcore R-rated gay rom-com was enough of a shock and a reward. I really could not have imagined when we were shooting the movie that we would get to premiere it in Toronto at a major film festival with, like, Steven Spielberg and all these other, like, you know, heavyweights. Not that Nick isn't a heavyweight. But for me personally, it's like strange to be in that company. So no, it is very dreamy and surreal.
So what was it in Billy that you saw? Which project was it? Which moment was it where you were like, there needs to be a movie built around this guy?
Yeah, I mean, so I first worked with Billy on Neighbors 2, and then I cast him in this show called Friends from College I created with my wife that he played, and in that show I discovered he was like a really good actor, which I actually didn't know. He was excellent in the show, really dramatic, very funny, which I knew, but really dramatic. And then we screened the first episode of that show in a movie theater. And every time Billy was on screen, the audience exploded, even if it was just a look. And I was like, oh, he's like a movie star. He's a proper movie star. And I called him and I said, would you want to collaborate on a movie? And he said, sure.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. Luke, what was your first impression when you read the script? Was there anything that you were like, okay, I'm in, but a little apprehensive about any part of it?
No. I mean, look, honestly, it's not often that you get the opportunity to sort of read a script that is going to be a studio feature film. So I was already excited before I read the first page. And, you know, it was, I think it was sent to me sort of like, you can read the script, and the script will disappear because it's all, you know, top secret, these sort of things. And as soon as I began reading it, I was thrilled because not only was it a very, very funny movie, but it was a great part. And sometimes the sort of love interest doesn't get a really rich, deep, full storyline, and I immediately knew that this was a great role for me.
Billy, what was the immediate reaction from the studio executives at the idea of it being an all LGBTQ plus cast? Were they like, oh, of course, or was there any hesitation on their part, like how is this going to actually work?
There was no hesitation as far as I know, I'm happy to say. The first decision we made, which the studio was very much behind, I actually think the idea might have come from the studio, was that my love interest would also be played by an openly gay actor. They felt very strongly about that. You know, and if you see the movie, you quickly realize that it would have been so hypocritical had we done that, because the movie is like, that's so not what the movie is about. And so once we made that decision, I did, you know, we were working on the script at that point, and I turned to Nick one day and I said, you know, it would be really cool if the whole cast was openly LGBTQ, even in the straight roles, because it's so rare that we get that. And we've so often historically had the opposite, where straight actors most of the time get to play the most high-profile, highly visible LGBTQ roles, and often to great success. And, you know, no one's saying some of them haven't given incredible performances that were worthy of a lot of respect and acclaim, but we just thought for this particular movie, this was the right opportunity to kind of correct that imbalance a little bit. And I think the movie is better for it for so many reasons.
And boy, was I glad that I came out.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I got put on that list.
All right, exactly.
Well, it also forced us to cast, you know, to go deep on casting. And I mean, I always say that the secret weapon of any comedy is kind of the unknown, the person that you don't recognize destroying in a movie. And so we have all these people who are, you know, some of them are well known, some of them aren't, but they're all so funny, and they're people that you haven't necessarily seen in these kinds of roles, and that's very exciting.
And what's cool is that Judd Apatow, who produced the movie, has this history, as does Nick, of discovering new talent and turning them into stars. You know, if you think about the movies Judd has made, people didn't really know Seth Rogen before Knocked Up. People didn't even know Steve Carell as well before 40-Year-Old Virgin. Melissa McCarthy and Bridesmaids, you know. So we're doing the same thing with this movie, but it happens to be all LGBTQ comedic performers, and that's what's so cool.
There's also something really interesting at play here, because what I love about this is that it's a gay love story presented just like a straight love story would in a big studio film. At the same time, the sensibility is different because it's co-written by Billy. So from a directorial standpoint, what was your take on it? Did you want to approach it as you would Forgetting Sarah Marshall, or did you want to come at it in a different way because it's an LGBTQ love story?
I mean, it's, you know, every person's love story on Earth is different, you know? There's like 8 billion love stories, and so I just wanted to be as specific to Billy's story as possible and as honest to his story as possible. And so to approach it any other way would have not been as funny, and you know, and so that was, I didn't like think about it. I mean, of course, we talked endlessly about gay romance and all of that, and I learned a lot from Billy. But I would approached it kind of the way I would approach anything, where this is a comedy vehicle for Billy Eichner. This is a romantic comedy, so we're going to talk about love endlessly over many years. But that literally is a therapy session. Writing this kind of movie is a therapy session. I talk about what makes me fall in love. He talks about, you know, it's endlessly. That was the way I approached it. Was like, what is honest? What's honest in this movie, and what's honest in your experience? You know?
Luke, there's a great running joke in the film about Hallmark movies. You don't call them Hallmark movies. What's the fake company called? Hallheart, right. But of course, you've made a lot of them. Have you had any feedback? I know the movie hasn't opened yet, but have you heard from any of the Hallmark people like, oh, what you talking about in this movie?
No, I mean, Hallmark has been sort of, I've been doing romantic comedies for a long time with Hallmark, and they have given me an incredible opportunity to sort of learn how to sort of be in that genre. So, no, they're really excited for me. And I think Hallmark is also a place where, you know, they give lots of opportunities to people. And they gave me, an openly gay actor an opportunity to star as always a straight dude. So that was really cool of them. They've been very open and receptive.
I'm still waiting for the call from Hallmark.
Don't give up.
My Hallmark Christmas movie is.
By the way, with singing numbers, because your singing voice, which we've already heard before in other formats, is so off the charts beautiful in this film. I mean, really great. And was that always going to be in the film, or did you have to kind of think like, do I really want to put that in?
No, it was like one of the last things we added while we were in production.
It was insane.
I
was like, what?
I actually fought so hard for so long about not wanting to sing in the movie. And because originally there's a sequence where we go to Provincetown, right? And there was an earlier draft of the script where we go to a karaoke bar and I end up singing, and I cut it. I was like, no, this is cheesy bullshit. This is like cheesy rom-com-y bullshit. Doesn't happen in real life. We did cut that and we never shot that. But we were a few weeks into production, and it was late one night. We were shooting on the Upper West Side, and Luke and I were talking about what music we listened to. And I don't want to give too much away, but he started to talk to me about the type of music that he likes, which was very different than the type of music that I like. And an idea kind of came to me, and I said, this might be interesting, actually. And I ended up writing the song when we were like 4 weeks into production. And then, I mean, I have to give so much credit to Nick and all the producers, because I literally was like, so I wrote a song, and it's for the end of the movie, and I have to perform it, and we shoot it in a week, and how are we going to do that? And they all said, okay, we'll figure it out. And we did it, and I'm happy we did it. And of course, the legendary Mark Shaman, who wrote a beautiful score for the movie, helped me arrange it. And he came, like, he arranged the song overnight. He came to play it with me live. It was pretty amazing.
We shot it live, which I've never done. Usually, you know, when you shoot this guy, I've shot a lot of singing at this point, and I've never done one where we did it live. You usually do a pre-record and you sing to the. So that was a live performance. That was Billy's live performance.
It's a beautiful moment. Okay, just one
and live playing too. Mark Shaman was there playing. Just
Mark Shaman. I mean, come on. One last thing. There's a great moment. I don't want to give like a joke away, but I'm going to give a joke away. You guys talk about there's a new app called Zellweger where people can just go on the app and talk about actresses. Of course, I love that joke.
Well, set it up right, Dave.
Okay.
If you're going to give it away.
Go ahead. You do it.
That was a little mangled.
It was bad, wasn't it?
My best friend in the movie, who's played hilariously by Guy Branum, who's a genius, he tells me he's working on a new app. He's launching a new app. We've had Grindr, we've had Tinder, and now we have Zellweger.
Right.
Right.
Thank you. So I want to know what were like the second and third choices that didn't make it and Zellweger won out.
I think Zellweger was our first choice. If I remember correctly, there was a version. No, I think Zellweger was our first choice.
There was Cave.
That's a different joke.
That's a different joke. We had other apps.
We had other apps, but then I thought I was like, what sounds like Grindr, Tinder? I was like,
right,
Zellweger. But then we had to get her permission.
Oh.
Like this, and I got scared, and so we started to come up with other alts. I was like, Midler. But, I love Bette Midler. But, but there was something about Zellweger, and then I spoke to her manager, and he spoke to her, and she loved the joke, and she was like, yeah, you can totally do that.
John Carabino coming through with the good sense of
Carabino,
humor.
there you're in the industry.
I redeemed myself, Billy. Yeah. Guys, the movie is so damn funny and really, really moving, and it really took me by surprise. I knew I was going to like it, but I really loved it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It premieres tonight, and it opens when? September 30th?
September 30th.
See it.
Get your asses to a movie theater.
Yeah.
It's good. Thanks, guys. Great to see you all. Have fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.